Hi, my name's Taylor Casper, and you're watching my Cheddar Artistry. Hey guys, it's a cozy night for a fire. It's one of my favorite things to do. Another thing I thought we'd have fun doing today is an acrylic pour. And I don't know about y'all, but when I first started doing acrylic pours, there was a lot of things I didn't know. And there's still a lot of things I'm learning today. So before we get started, I'd like to do a short tutorial for all the newcomers. So I have my box of goodies today, all the essentials that you need to do an acrylic pour. I have 3 main categories. First thing you're going to need are cups. These ones are really fancy. They have measuring lines on them for you. You do not need a fancy cup like this, any old cup will do. The second thing you're going to need is something to stir your paint with. Unfortunately, there's not anything you can really do to get around that one. You can try to shake it, but the consistency of the paint's not going to be right. So I have some popsicle sticks, and these came from the same company, but any old popsicle sticks will do. Just gotta mix your paint. The other thing, obviously, you're going to need paint. This one is just a regular acrylic paint. I don't see anything fancy about it necessarily. So it has to be kind of runny. You see how it kind of drips and it's kind of a little bit runny? It's not too thick. That's the kind of paint that you are going to need. The higher end you go with your paint, the better it's going to be. This is a higher end brand. It's called Golden, and you can see that this one is very, very runny. I can't even really hold it up because that's how runny it is. Ideally, that is really the kind of paint that you're going to want for this acrylic pour. Obviously, this grayish black color will do as well, but you want it to be running down like the blue. Cannot do an acrylic pour without a medium. For the second category, there are things that you don't necessarily need, but they make your paintings so much more beautiful and they make them pop. You can do some really cool things with it. First thing I'm going to start with that you don't actually need are gloves, but trust me, you're going to want some gloves because you don't want your hands looking like mine did earlier. You want to stay as clean as possible. Whatever surface you're working on, ideally you want to cover it with something. These work really well. The first thing that you can add to an acrylic pour that's really cool are silicone oil drops, and these will create kind of like cells, and I know you guys have seen these everywhere and they're beautiful. So today we're going to play around with that a little bit. And the last thing that you don't necessarily need is Floetrol, and it works really similar to the pouring medium, and it kind of helps thin out the paint and creates that dripping effect that we're going to be looking for. In the third category, we've got things that you don't necessarily need, but I wanted to include because I thought they're really cool things to play with. The first thing are they're little triangles. Oh, and they link together. I didn't know that. They're little triangles to kind of prop up your canvases so they're not sitting directly on the surface you're working on. It allows for the finish to kind of fully drip over the edges of the canvas instead of the surface. The second thing that I have seen everywhere are the little strainers. These are little miniature paint strainers with different little designs and hole patterns. This one has more of a line pattern. So we're going to be using some of those today as well. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is a turntable. So this one I actually got out of a little bakery kit. And I think honestly it was like $15 or $20. I did not want to spend a lot of money on a turntable, especially if I'm going to be dripping paint all over it. So this is a cheap option. Or you can put the canvas on top and spin it around and try to get the paint to try to do a little swirling effect. So we'll see if we're able to do that today as well. We're gonna start off simple. I chose 3 colors. The first one is kind of a greenish color. The second one is a magenta. And the third one is an orange. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're pretty much going to use this entire color. Each color is going to have a separate cup, and then you're going to pour them right in. This is the kind of paint that is okay to use, but not really the best. Okay, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to add your glossy pouring medium. And you want to get this to be about half of the mixture. You can see on the third one, on the orange one, it did not mix in right away like it did the other 2 of the higher quality paints. For the Floetrol, it says about half and half as well. I'm just kind of eyeballing this today. And now they're all about the same. And you're going to mix. Now it's important to have more than one mixing tool because you don't want to mix the colors together from container to container. This is the consistency that you were looking for. This third one, you really have to mix. And this consistency is still good. Alright, we got 3 of our colors mixed. It's time to do the fun part. Okay, so I'm putting my gloves on for this part. If you saw early in the tutorial, I wasn't wearing them and my hands were definitely getting dirty. So if you're not someone who likes to get dirty, I definitely suggest getting some of these. So I'm going to start with this strainer. No particular reason why I chose this one, I just thought it was pretty. So I'm going to start with this orange color. I'm just going to pour it right into the strainer. This color's having a little bit of a harder time going through the strainer because it's a little bit thicker than the other colors. And then the last color, I have a pretty green. Want to keep kind of helping the paint find its way to the edges. This is why you end up using so much paint. You really got to cover all the edges. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to introduce to you guys before we move on to the next painting. There's a concept known as a dirty cup. Basically, what you do is you mix a bunch of paint colors together, so it's not just one paint per cup. And we are set up for the second acrylic pour. On the second acrylic pour, I'm going to use a different strainer. This one has a little bit more of the straight lines instead of just folds. I'm really excited to see what kind of effect this one has. I'm just lifting the strainer a little bit. And then we're gonna go in with the blue. And last but not least, as I promised, the dirty cup. And I think this time, instead of waiting till the end, I'm going to drop a couple silicone drops in right now. I'm going to use a lot more. Try to put them a lot more closer together too. Sometimes it's kind of hard to work the paint in the direction you want it to go without covering all of the beautiful colors you love. All the beautiful colors you see forming, and you're just like, no, please don't go away. Alright, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. For the third acrylic pour I'm doing today, I wanted to use the turntable. But I'm going to try not to spin it too quickly because I don't want the paint to fling off and hit any of the cameras. And on this one, I am not going to use a strainer. Silicone cells. This one is very, very liquidy because I did not use any of the lower brand acrylic paint. This is all higher quality paint. I'm just kind of spinning this. This is really, really pretty. And extremely messy. Alright guys, there you have it. I've done 3 different acrylic pours today. I hope you guys had a lot of fun and you learned something. I know I had a ton of fun. I have a lot of cleaning up to do. Until next time.